Oh.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Curiosity Public. My name is Dutch.
My name is Jules.
This is the penitent and pious Dillon.
Dude, we're going to Already.
Jeez.
Can't take you anywhere.
All right,
I can't say words.
welcome
I know, right?
All right, well, welcome to yet another one of our world famous drink-throughs.
World Weller.
You trying to make an alliteration there?
I don't know. I stopped.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, this is the Weller drink-through. I think this channel's been around now for what, almost 4 years?
10.
Over 4 years, this iteration. And I think ever since we started it, we've been thinking about doing this drink-through. Mm-hmm. And it's taken us this long to get the entire collection. Well, almost the entire collection.
Well, let's say why. We refused to pay secondary prices.
That's right. Everything here was acquired for, non-secondary prices, basically MSRP, and it'll take you more than 4 years, because some of these older bottles were, we were grabbing them way back in the day and just kind of holding on to them in the hopes that maybe one day we'd do something like this. So here it is,
Gift of foresight.
Ultimate Weller drink through. Should we talk really quickly about what we have and then jump in?
Sure.
Let's go.
All right. So we've got the Special Reserve. We've got the older bottling. They switched to this modern design 2006, 2007 maybe. Sorry, 2016, 2017, sometime around then, I think. Then we've got the old and the new versions of the Antique 107, and then the even newer version with the cork that they've switched to. We've then got a single barrel pick of the Weller 107. Then we got the old squat bottle Weller 12, the modern Weller 12, and then we've got the more recent CYPB, which stands for
Not picked by me.
Create Your Perfect Bourbon. They're not speaking to Dillon.
Exactly.
Then we've got the single barrel, and then we've got the foolproof, the blended foolproof, that one, and then a single barrel foolproof. And then at the very end, the William Larue Weller Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, which is kind of the granddaddy of all the Wellers. So.
Wow.
Now, of course, we should talk about what we don't have, which is the Daniel Weller special release thing.
I thought you were going to surprise me with it.
Oh, I wish. And then the Millennium, is that the other new one that they just released? I mean, these are basically unattainable bottles.
Unobtainium.
They are basically unobtainium, and who cares, right? Buffalo Trace, if you really care about us, you'd make those things available.
Yeah.
Too soon?
Calling them out.
All right. Well, hey guys, let's get started with the old Special Reserve. First bottle up. This is the old bottle. So it used to be called W.L. Weller Special Reserve, and these days just called Weller Special Reserve. 45% alcohol, 90 proof. Now we should mention from the get-go, as far as bourbons go, this is what is commonly referred to as a wheated bourbon, right?
Wheated. Which
basically means that, if you take the traditional bourbon mash bill of corn, rye, barley, this one replaces the rye with wheat. So it's corn, wheat, and barley. And how did Weller get its rise to fame? It's because it shares a mash bill with Pappy Van Winkle.
But I wanted to say, let's talk about Stitzel.
You guys don't even know this stuff, do you?
Are you serious? Wait, let's talk about Stitzel Weller, though.
Right, the original.
Right. And so there are Weller variations, right? Or rather,
Old.
From the old distillery.
The Pappies that are from Stitzel Weller. And I will say, I can't even sugarcoat it. It is so much better.
Yeah, it's like a richness.
Yeah, it is. I would say it's about 1,000 times better.
Wow. So you'd spend thousands of dollars on those bottles?
No comment.
All right, well, Special Reserve. So this is the old bottling. This stuff was out there on the shelves back in 2016, 2015, maybe around then. You can see the price point here on this one. Still has the old sticker on it there. What does that say? $29.99. That's a little high, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You got ripped off at that time.
It was later.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was like secondary pricing.
Yeah, basically back then. That's like when I refused to keep buying Weller Special Reserve is when it jumped. I actually have, we'll get to it when we get to the other one. But let's talk about the nose. How's the nose on this old bottling?
It has a hint of the grape.
Yeah, it does.
It's not really forward, but it's there.
Yeah. It's almost like it's very sanded. You know what I mean? Like the aroma is very even. There's no sharp edges to it.
What I like about this,
mellow.
I think it's really important to say, I don't get the Weeder Frunk.
No frunk.
Yeah.
And of course, when we say the Weeder Frunk, we just mean the funkiness that you can find in certain weeded bourbons, right? It's like a grassy note, kind of. Sometimes it's off-putting, smells like dirt.
I'm looking at you, Larceny.
yeah, Larceny has that. All right, let's go in. Cheers.
Again, sanded down.
Sanded down.
Right? I feel like this is the tease. You know, it's supremely drinkable.
Super drinkable.
Because there's no harsh edges.
Now, do you think
no
that
edges.
this has a little bit more oak than the newer one?
Yes.
This tastes a little bit oaky to me.
I was going to say, on the finish,
Right.
it's very oaky.
Yeah.
But what's a little bit interesting is that I'm getting the finish that I get in the modern Weller 12. Where it's longer.
Longer.
It stays with you.
You get a touch of that sourness, too, that sometimes comes through on the 12.
And so it's really fascinating that you have the sanded down front end flavors, but it also kind of lingers and the finish is quite long.
Yeah,
for
it's
something,
very pleasant.
Yeah.
Like, I still feel it. I still have, like, the warming sensation in my throat. I mean, first drink of the day, but, you know.
What's nice is like you just get a hint of that sour, but then it's coated with that just nice
Sweetness, yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice, that weeder sweetness, which is
Yeah.
very, very pleasant. Not a lot of the baking spice coming through for me.
No.
Almost
Same
none.
here. Yeah.
But there is some spiciness. It's very bland, but there's a note there.
That's you're right. It is
Sanded down.
bland
Sanded down.
spiciness, which is weird.
Yeah.
I would say, you know, the complexity's not there.
Yeah.
I think the
It's a very
ethanol...
formed flavor coming at you, though.
Yeah,
It's like
the ethanol is represented, which
Yeah,
is not necessarily a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So at the time,
and we have to point out, like, this is a very old bottling. This has had a lot of exposure to air.
air.
This
it
has
was
been
still
opened.
the bottom shelf. At the
This was a bottom shelf. Yeah, totally.
still bottom shelf.
Should be.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's move on to the modern iteration. Did you just hit your tooth with your glass?
Yes.
That sounded so horrible.
Repeat that.
All right, guys, moving on to the special reserve modern bottling style. Look at that. Went to this very big green and yellowish kind of motif. Still says 45%. The WL is now gone from the label. It just says Weller. There's a lot of literature on the back that does say, well, WL Weller and all this stuff there. And you can read that and pause the video if you care. Sorry.
I'll punch you already.
Yeah, you know what? I think Weller makes everybody a little bitter who's been in the game long enough. If you used to like drinking this, it's frustrating now because you just can't get it for a fair price anymore, it feels like. So, I mean, I have to specifically say with this bottle, I brought one here because I've had this sitting on my shelf. I've almost kept it for posterity's sake because I used to go to my local liquor store and pick this up, you know, every couple weeks because it used to be that price, $26.99. And then I remember walking in one day and the guy raised it to $35. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like, I've always been buying this for $26. And he's like, price has gone up. So I bought one. A month later, I went in and it was like $50. And then I stopped buying it. I mean, it was that simple.
Well, there was a time too where you just couldn't even see it.
Well, I mean, after that, it seemed to
Now
just
it's
disappear. But
disappeared,
like, you know,
yeah.
back
Now it's like coming back.
when we were, you know, drinking this stuff regularly, it was available.
Yeah, dude, at the local grocery store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I never drink that.
Because this was also available.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. All right, guys, get into the nose. Any difference? Oh, it's a little fruitier.
Fruitier?
Like brighter fruits, less cooked fruit. Not any of the grape.
No, you get it.
Maybe a little bit,
It's
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
But it's almost like a more raw fruit.
I'm also getting more sweetness on this nose.
Yeah, more light sugar sweetness.
Yeah, light sugars.
Not like the
Not
cooked
darks,
sugars,
yeah.
the dark sugars. The ethanol's still present.
I like the jam.
It gets to jam level for you?
Yeah. So.
know, man.
I'm going to tell you right now. I want you to. I'll just put it on your mouth. Okay.
Put it on your mouth.
And then imagine Smucker's jam. Smucker's grape jam.
It's not there yet, man.
You got it. You got it right there.
It's not there yet.
No, he just said you got it. It's there.
And it's not there yet.
It's there.
There's like a little dab.
It's like
Little dab.
It's starting to boil.
There you go.
A little dab. But it's more sour,
Yeah,
this one.
agreed.
To me.
Okay.
The finish is way more sour.
Finish is shorter.
Shorter finish,
Shorter,
more sour.
sour, rough, not
A
balanced.
little bit rough for... The flavors are just
The
not
front-
quite as deep.
Yeah, the
either.
front end is still sanded, but you know it does benefit from
It might
maybe
just
a
because
little
it's a
bit
shorter
more
finish.
of the jam component.
I mean, we should also point out this bottle's actually been open a very long time too. You know, I think this is like a 2019 era bottle or something like that. It's not a brand new one, in other words, but even with a lot of air, it's the old is definitely a little bit more rich, a little bit more depth to the flavor. Not a huge difference. It could just be batch variants too, maybe.
Yeah, I would never pay extra for the older one.
No.
At this point,
I
mean, like, I think the finish is longer, but the front end flavors, it's equivocal, and if you're continuing to take sips, then it's really not going to.
You brought up price. What would you pay for a green label Weller
right now?
Yeah.
I think the last time I paid was $30.
$30.
Yeah.
I'd pay 34. It's not a bad one to have on the shelf.
I mean, I had to buy it as a package, but
yeah. How about you?
I was gonna say, like, with just solo, 40-ish.
Yeah, I'd feel a little. If I didn't have one in my bunker already,
I mean, I already have some, so
maybe I would.
I'm just saying
pay
I've
40.
seen that price.
If I do have my bunker.
Yeah.
I probably am with you. Maybe if I saw it around 30, I'd pick one up.
Yeah, but you won't see it at 30. You have to buy it with something.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Solo.
No, you can see it.
It's
you can
hard.
see it.
It's pretty rare.
No,
The last one I picked up was about a month ago.
Okay.
Apparently, I think it's
Bought
like,
it
what is
for-
it, like in
but-
Texas? It's everywhere.
Oh.
So I don't know. Let us go in the comments, by the way. Distribution of this product we should talk about is kind of really weird. Now, it's apparently improving a bit with the distributor changes with Buffalo Trace, but we'd love to hear from you guys. As we go through this, drop some comments. Let us know what the availability is like in your state. I will say, like, I don't see the green label that much. I've probably seen more 107 and more foolproof.
I see the green all the time.
I don't see, and that's just a difference in where you live versus where we live.
Yeah, on the island.
On your island, you get all kinds of stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like where I come from, I see this, but roughly 40 to 50 solo.
What's that all about?
I have no
Why'd you
idea.
turn into Mr. T all of a sudden?
Wow.
Okay, I was fine.
I ain't getting on a plane.
Hey, nice.
I got it too.
You take a canoe.
Well, that wasn't going to go there. All right, well, let's move on. Let's get to the 107.
All right, finally.
Okay, 107 Antique. So let's look at the old bottling here. Now, this one was called Old Weller Antique, the original 107 brand, and the original wheated bourbon. It says, it's kind of a very plain old-timey label.
With a sticker. It's a sticker right there, right?
It is a sticker. And look at this. This one has the price too. What is this one? $39.99 was the original price paid for this old bottling here. Oh, you can't even see it now. $39.99. Let's pour this one.
Full disclosure.
Well, no, hang on.
It's-
We did debate a little bit about the order.
True.
There was some debate because this is
should-
higher proof, 107 proof, that we should put it at the end. But we decided let's kind of go through the core range first and then get into the more specialized ones, right? What were we going to say, Dillon?
No, I was going to say, full disclosure, Weller 107 was my daily, right? It was so readily available. I would pay the extra $5 to $10 to get the 107 rather than the Special Reserve. The Special Reserve was reserved for, like, mixing. And
Yeah, or guests. Or just
I gave my
background.
guests the best. Obviously not
the
for
royalty
Dutch.
that comes to your island, I guess, expects that,
Yeah, Jim Beam.
But, boy, this is...
So, Old Weller Antique. I mean, it used to carry an age statement.
Yeah.
7-year
yeah,
age
7
statement.
year,
And actually, you and I tried
Yeah,
one of the
we've had it.
old, I
Right.
think it was like from the 90s bottles.
Yeah.
We'll probably pop up an image of what that looks like. If you ever see those, like they sell for like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I can tell you,
Not worth it.
not worth it. After trying it, you're insane if you spend that much on it, I think, but whatever. Do what you want with your money, right? What do you think? You had that too.
No, I completely agree, dude. It's not worth it.
Yeah. Okay, how about these old squat bottles? How's the nose?
It is just night and day.
There's so much fruit.
I mean, all
So
of a
much
sudden...
grape.
Here's what I'm getting to is the jam for me is really
grape.
clear.
Well, yeah,
The
no,
grape
that's
jam. I
it
mean,
starts
it's so
with
obvious,
that.
yeah.
I mean, we basically jumped all the ripe fruits,
Right.
all
Just
just
straight
wet.
to
it's-
jam.
I mean, we even skipped stewed fruit,
True.
and it's basically as
Grape
Dutch
jam.
puts it, melange of
Orange.
jams, of jams,
Jams.
right? And so I get that Smucker's grape jam.
Yes.
You know, it is.
But it's not that. It's almost like a richer jam flavor than that. Like it's not quite as sweet as that kind of jam. It's more like fruity as opposed to sweet.
Oh, and then there's
Knott's Berry Farm.
you get this hint of like
berry jam.
Yeah.
you get this hint of like nectarine, stone fruit type of.
The nose is excellent on this.
Excellent.
mean,
no,
just-
no alcohol.
None.
None.
It is just fruits,
No burn.
And again, this has
And
been
then
open.
caramel.
This has been
Okay.
open a very long time.
True.
caramel,
Yes, I'm getting the brown sugar.
caramel. Yeah.
There, definitely. Brown sugars are there. Palate?
God.
Oh, oh, oh. Just
That's really good.
Deliciousness.
just really great.
There's a little bit of drying.
Yeah.
At the
on the
finish.
There's a little bit of a balance issue.
Yeah. The
It
finishes
does
are
have a little
perfect.
bit of an oaky component.
Comes through on the finish a lot.
yeah.
Actually, it's getting
I think the finish
worse.
is
It might be the body even.
no, the finish is a little bit flawed. I will say,
Mm-hmm.
right?
But again, for what at this point in time was a $40 bourbon, it's really awesome flavors.
Excellent,
Really awesome
excellent.
flavors.
I love it. I love it to death.
I mean, the way it's coating the glass too is pretty incredible.
This
Look
is
at that.
incredibly.
Look at the legs. Really insane.
Yeah, it is just
a nice
delicious.
glass.
It is delicious. Delicious.
It is. I do think that the finish is a little bit off-putting.
Yeah, I would give the finish on our score scale like 6, 7.
6 or 7, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's drying. and
flavor's really
I'm even
high.
getting like a sour
Flavor
note
16,
on it.
17, I'd say.
17. Yeah, because it's deep. And that's why I give it the points there.
Yeah.
Complexity's good.
Aroma's really.
Well, the aroma's really
way
good.
up
The main
there.
palate balance is very good. The balance only falls off at the finish.
Now, let's talk about Pappy Van Winkle, right? That's
Should we
the,
pour our next one first and then you can...
No.
All right.
So,
Yes.
anytime you drink Weller, you have to say, well, what's missing from this?
To not make it.
Yeah, and compare that to Pappy, right? Because
Baking spice.
There's a huge price difference. There's a lot of
It's the cinnamon. It's the baking spice.
Well, I also say the elegance of it, because a lot of this still
Yeah.
feels like raw material compared
But I mean,
to Pappy.
the youngest Pappy's still, at least 3 or 4 years older than this.
yeah. Well, so I feel like the way that I think of both the aroma and the flavor profile, what's missing is a balanced presentation of the sugars. And the sugars
Yeah.
are where I think the Pappy Van Winkle. And you know what? I'm going to bring this up again because I just it reminded me of people always saying these weird things about the honey component. Okay. Go and stop being cheap. Go buy a Stitzel Weller Pappy Van Winkle 15 year. Okay.
Stop being cheap.
It'll cost you about $10,000, but I swear to you, you will get the honey.
Yeah.
But you will not get it in this.
No.
Unfortunately, you won't get it in this, and it's very
I'll tell you
rare
also, in
these
all of
days
these single
that
barrels-
the non-Stitzel Weller
None of the single barrels are going to have it either.
It's not
Even
gonna
if you
have
call
it.
it a honey barrel, it's not going to have
it
that.
is not a honey barrel.
Traditionally.
Like when was the last time I had a honey barrel? I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Like people say that something was great, not that great.
Language changes, Dillon. You
Sad.
just have to accept it.
No, actually, you know what? Forget that. Go to Europe. Anyway, let's go.
All right, let's keep going. Let's get to the...
There are bars in Europe.
They
where they have it.
yeah.
There are
available.
bars in the United States that have it.
They have it in
Well,
England.
it's going to be also crazy prices.
It
in
is
the
gonna
US,
be
but I'd
crazy
say in Europe, you have
Yeah,
greater
for
chance
a
of it being
whore,
reasonable.
$400, $500.
Say for a whore. Did you hear that?
No,
thought
for
I
a
heard
I
that.
whore.
swear.
That's
No.
why I'm like,
I said
I think we
whore,
heard how much you spent on your night activities.
not Puritan.
Exactly.
exactly. That's why we're shocked.
He who is without sin cast the first stone.
I will throw it then.
All right, guys, let's keep moving. Let's move on to the next one. We all saved our squat bottle. Again, I'm going to call this like the 2000s era bottle. And then this is like the 2016-ish.
18, I think it was
2018.
2018.
It's like 2018, I think, is when you really. And this is a pretty old one. So the reason is we have a new one and an old one, and we'll see if there's any difference between the rebranding or the new bottling. This one, I think. Let's see if we can see when this is from.
All right, for people out there while
There's
he's
a
doing
laser
this,
code.
you know I was kidding, right? When I said you should go spend $10,000 on a Stitzel Weller.
Sure you were, because then you told him to spend a $3,000 flight to Europe.
Well, there's actually a place in Vegas, one of the steak places we like to go, and they used to, their Pappies. They had some of the Stitzel Weller ones.
Gone though, gone.
Yeah, they still may have like the 23.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
It's gone.
I mean, it was expensive.
I've asked. It's
Wow,
gone.
almost killed this one, guys.
Oh.
All right, so how is the nose?
The irony is that her 16 is available, but not the
Yeah.
Stitzel Weller
The
Pappies
Pappy,
anymore. Yeah. A little subdued, huh?
Are these glasses
Is there
clear?
a funk on this? Yeah.
No, I didn't get any funk.
I don't know. Something
There's
weird.
something weird.
Okay, now
Let's let it open.
Coat the
Maybe
glass
just
a
let
little
it-
Let's
bit.
let
Yeah.
it open.
The glass smelled funky. Somebody didn't
Same
wash
here.
her new glasses. Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
It's less fruity, but I'm getting a little bit more baking spice on this one. I'm getting a little bit of the cinnamon coming through.
On the aroma?
Yeah. But less fruit, more spice, and more ethanol.
Definitely more ethanol.
I'm not getting ethanol, but I think I can be convinced about the spice.
Yeah, I'm getting a hint of that cinnamon.
I'm not getting that.
I mean, it's a very different nose.
You know, I never thought
Wow,
about this.
yeah, compare it
but you know
side by
what?
side.
Like thinking about when you said that,
Oh.
is that like birthday bourbon,
Well,
Old
this is
Forester
sugar,
birthday
so,
bourbon spice you're getting?
Yeah, or like a good maker's. You know, like when you get that cinnamon and like nutmeg kind of thing. That to me is what exemplifies the well-aged.
And the old one is so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, nose at least, old one is better. Let's try the palate.
Oh man, compared to the old one, there's a little bit of the frunk.
Yeah, a little more oak on the main palate, too.
Yeah. It's oaky.
It's oaky, it's a little dry.
Drying.
The finish is drying.
And the finish.
No sour, though. Like, it's just like a
Finish is short.
A little bit of a tannic hit. Sweetness up front.
Still great.
Still really tasty, yeah. I think,
But you know what? Less grape,
yeah,
right?
more spice.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying on the nose.
I'm not sure if it's spice for me. It's definitely the frunk is coming out. You know?
There's a little bit of
Very
little
little.
bit of it.
Very little.
This is not
Almost at
larceny
the
frunk.
mid
Coming
palate.
out.
Yeah,
though.
mid
Right
palate.
before the finish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Right before the finish.
Yeah, this is not the best representation of Weller. This particular, it may just be this really old bottle that's been open for a really long time, too.
True.
So keep that in mind. Should we move on to the modern?
Sure.
Let's do it. Okay, modern iteration. This is a fairly new crack. And as you can see, the redesign here, I didn't show the last label, did I? But this is what the new bottle looks like. And it is now a cork, as you see here, with the gold. And look at that. Real cork. Real Elvis rope.
Nerd.
Alrighty.
Right.
Let's. Oh, I did spill a bit. Not one I want to be spilled. How's the nose?
There we go. There
Yeah.
we go.
I think this one has just been open too long.
Might be.
Because I mean, this is I think right when this came out is when this bottle was acquired. This
That's really nice. This is
Very
This
pleasant.
is very.
Now I'm getting everything,
great
though. I'm getting the
for-
grape jam. I'm getting spice.
Okay,
Yeah,
now let me compare that
the
to
fruits.
the old.
Hang on, I guess before you do that, I'm going to tell you that the fruits are going to be a little bit brighter in this, a little more cooked in the old.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm still on the old getting more of the brown sugars than I am on this one.
Yeah, this is a little brighter.
It's brighter.
Yeah, a little less caramelized.
With the cap still on.
Off. There was no
Yeah, it's
cap.
really good. Like the grape, the fruits, the jam. It's back.
It's great.
It's
The caramel. It's like really. And
a little bit brighter though than the old one.
The old one.
The flavors are a little brighter. The fruits are a little bit less cooked, a little bit more raw.
Is it, or is it
sugars
just
are a
like
little
stewed
less dark.
fruits?
It's just a little brighter as opposed to
I just
like
don't get
darker.
I don't get like the raw fruits though.
No,
No.
it's just not cooked quite as much as the old one. I would call it. You know.
Yeah, ripe fruits. Yeah.
All right, palate. Whoa.
Whoa. Am I getting like frunk?
Not frunk.
No,
I'm getting oak.
getting oak.
Oak.
I'm doing it
Relatively
Yeah.
speaking.
again. Okay. I'm getting a lot of oak.
Oh yeah. The old one doesn't have the oak. The newer one does.
Yeah.
Just tasted it. It's
Oh yeah,
very
you get
different.
it.
So that's the difference.
Yeah. It's oakier.
Yeah.
Way
They've
oaky.
added more oak. Perhaps because they had to integrate more barrels. Right? They increased production.
It's surprisingly oaky. I mean, like, it's weird. Maybe it's this context, and you realize how oaky the 107 is when you have it in this order. But the old one definitely does not have that oak.
No.
This one really has the oak.
Yeah.
It's not
Really
tannic.
on the finish.
Yeah, it's not tannic.
Again, I would say the
Throws you
flaw
off.
is in the finish. It's a bit unbalanced in the finish, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have that elegance.
Still really enjoyable. I mean,
It
I
is
still
very
love sipping
good,
on this.
but-
Let's talk about price. This is the currently available iteration. Best price I've seen recently, I think, is when I picked this one up for $67, I think it was, at a grocery store.
At a grocery store, 55.
Wow.
If with a coupon, maybe. Yeah.
I would never pay 100 plus for this.
No, if I saw one at, 80 is kind of my limit. I
I was gonna say 80s.
if I didn't have it.
You're right. 79, 80.
But if I have a couple, I probably wouldn't buy it unless I saw it for closer to 70 these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice one to have. I enjoy sipping on it. I'd probably open it and drink it more regularly if I was able to have access to it. All right, should we try the single
I
barrel?
have not seen it lower than 90. So
Yeah,
you can get it.
Grocery stores.
I'm sure
It
if you're
goes
looking,
fast.
but I'm not.
It goes
I'm
fast.
seeing it.
Or
And
in the
usually
chain.
they don't put it out in front.
Yeah,
It's in the store behind the store.
dirty deeds. All right, guys, let's move on. All right, pass on down the next bottle. Now we're getting into the wrong one. This one.
Barrel pick.
It's like it's not even here. No. Barrel pick of Weller 107. As you can see, barrel picks say that. They say single barrel, and usually who selected it. This is actually an older one because it is a screw top. But let's see.
I think that was my bottle.
I think this is yours. This has been sitting on the set for quite a while.
Yeah, that's my bottle. I think I accidentally left it here.
Yeah. So let's see any differences here with a single barrel. It was right in the gap too, so the camera could see it.
Oh, terrible.
It's
Dealing with
Dillon's.
stickiness all over me. Hilarious.
Oh man, I can't believe this, but this is so old, and yet the whole barrel pick bias still holds water, because
Sweet.
yeah, it's
Really sweet.
really sugary, right?
And
White
less
sugars
fruit.
though,
Less
not
fruit.
brown.
Less fruit, less jam.
Less jam.
less
But
jam.
lots of
sugars.
sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People like their sweets, man.
Yeah, everyone has a sweet tooth.
Let's give it a try.
Huh? Body better, mouth feel good,
Finish sucks.
Finish is really short.
Short.
better though. It's not oaky.
It's
No
not
oak.
oaky.
It's not tannic.
No oak. The flavors aren't as intense as any of these.
I wish I got more
I
jam.
think this feels more
This is
sanded
basically
down.
It's
this is
smooth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is, dude.
It
this is you know, this is ripe fruit and stewed fruits and sugar, right? And what I like about this is that the finish is not tannic.
This one's really drinkable.
Yeah.
Okay, second sip, the finish is better. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Way better.
the mouthfeel is good.
Mouth feels good. There's the spice comes through.
The spice is there.
Tiny touch of the frunk, maybe right before the finish. It's almost like it's going to be oaky or something, but it doesn't get there like the way these do.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Probably my favorite, second favorite. Just for reference, I'm going to go back to the old one and give
Yeah,
it a
let me
taste.
try. Oh, that one's better.
It's just
Longer.
richer.
It's older. You know it's
Depth of the-
older.
the
You
depth
know
of
it's
the fruit,
older.
Man. It's so
Like
good.
automatically, the old one when it hits the palate, you know this is an old.
And it makes this one taste a little sour now,
Yeah.
which is
Oh, I
interesting.
didn't go back to it.
So good, but you know. So what am
Was
I
it?
missing?
See,
No?
no, yes, and I think I'm getting more frunk. I don't know. Going
Well,
back
yeah.
to it.
I want
still
to.
good,
Feel
though.
the-
I
Yeah,
still
yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
It's
yeah.
still good.
I want to stop right there, and I
I'm going
want
to
to.
stop you right here in the hall.
Yeah, I want to talk about again. We have to talk about Pappy Van Winkle, right? So, I think what's interesting about this is this gives you like a piece of the palate, and this gives you a piece of the palate. This
all
gives
do,
you a piece
yeah,
of
yeah.
So if you were to patch it all together, like that's the beginning of
beginning.
the barrel selection of that line, and I think.
You can get the
For
component-
people who have not
components.
had it, I think that's kind of the best way I could describe it. Like
Yeah,
I've
but to
had,
tell
I've done
somebody,
tastings
if you-
for people.
If you drink 107, that you're kind of going to understand Pappy.
You're not.
I mean,
You're not.
it's
I've
like
done
an
private.
outline.
Wait. So I have done private tastings for people who have never had any of this. In fact, they have never had bourbon.
Okay.
And I've done the drink through like
And they
this
like this the
at
best,
home.
probably, right?
Yeah, at home, and then it culminated with a Pappy tasting, and basically that's what they said. They said, "Wow, I felt like till now." You were kind of holding back on us because you were just giving us like these teases, hints of this side,
Yeah.
that side, this side, just like these patchwork. And then it kind of put it all together.
Yeah, that
And
makes
that's
sense.
how it came about. So this particular pick skewed more toward the sweetness and had to abandon a lot of the jam. So that's what I see.
All right, guys, are you ready to move on to the Weller 12?
Not really.
Well, we're doing it anyway. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, pass on down the Weller 12 old bottle. This is the squat bottle. Let's take a look at this label. Again, they were using the WL Weller nomenclature at the time, aged 12 years. Look at that. The black on the label always looked cool to me. We have to give a big thank you to Ben Richards
Thank you, Ben.
for allowing us to take it. I stole it, actually. He didn't see me do it.
So we apologize, Ben.
Sorry, Ben. Stole this from his private stash. These are pretty hard to come by these days. You got water in your glass, man.
Lovely. Look at this.
And why do you think that is?
Exactly.
Dutch
And it's
spilling
all over
everything
me. It's hilarious.
over my...
Station? Over your coaster?
Your workstation.
All right. So, Weller 12. How is the nose? We should let this one open up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh.
Huh.
It's nice.
Wow, it just feels like the spectrum kind of widened. It's not as punchy as the 107,
The proof is lower, we should point out.
but it just kind of
what is the proof? Is it 90 or
encompasses-
95?
Yeah, what is it?
it encompasses more of the flavor profile, and I can
90.
see why. Well, do you remember that one year when it won like best whiskey of the year from some whatever no name?
Sure.
I could see why people could be convinced that this is
The
like
best.
the pinnacle.
Yeah. That's really nice.
I mean, it's not,
all
but
the
like,
notes. I mean,
It's
it's
a nice
got
note.
the sweet. It's got the
yeah, it's sweet.
grape. I'm getting floral.
There's nothing off-putting.
No.
There's nothing off-putting. There's not even the ethanol. I don't even like if somebody passed this to me, I'd be like, "This is alcohol?" I would ask that.
Just flavored water.
Palate.
Oh.
Whoa.
First of all, mouthfeel. Just
Oh.
I'm getting a lot of oak on the finish.
No.
no, I'm not getting
Really? Let me
that.
get another sip. Hang on.
I'm not getting any.
To me, it's just a mouthfeel.
But
It really tastes like water.
yeah.
It's very,
getting
very
oak on the
watered
finish.
down. I'm not getting
On the
oak.
finish?
No, no. Do it again. No. No.
It's velvety like water.
Yeah, it's just
if you could describe it that way. You know what I mean?
again. If you had
Like
given
heavy
to
water?
if you have gi-
yeah, like heavy water.
I would say if I went to Jules'
Like chubby
house
rain.
and Jules poured this for me and I drank it
Yeah.
and I didn't know what it was, I would have said, "Oh, thanks for giving me water."
Right. You're like, I didn't ask for a glass of water.
Okay, now I'm not getting the oak. Okay. Oh, no, I'm getting a touch on the finish.
What?
Yeah,
No, I'm not getting
touch
any
there.
of it.
I'm getting it. For
I mean,
sure.
if anything, that would be the criticism here. Like the oak is not represented.
I'm not getting it.
I'm not getting it, man.
Weird. I'm definitely getting a little hit of it as it goes into the finish.
So
But
how
it's-
would you
it's-
describe
It's
this?
so mellow.
So
It's really mellow.
whoa, let's talk about this.
It's
How is
water.
this different than the regular special reserve?
Wider spectrum,
Okay.
better mouthfeel, a little bit richer flavors, but kind of the same. It's like you took this and you just made it this.
Now, to me, it's still sanded down.
Yeah.
It's just that the mouthfeel is elevated.
Yeah.
You
And the
you
flavors are a little bit bigger.
It's not as raw as the special reserve, and then you have a little bit longer finish.
I'm really surprised you guys aren't getting this oak.
But the thing that's found wanting is you don't have punchy, sugary flavors.
dude.
You don't have
Not
punchy.
getting it.
It's
punchy
very
anything.
difficult to get jam out of this thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I mean, coming after the 107, it just seems lackluster to me.
I was gonna say it feels watered down. That's
But I
how
can
describe
see
it.
why there's a segment of the population where they would
love
drink
it,
this
yeah.
and say, "Well, if you like." Again, I don't judge. Okay,
It's judged.
I know I don't judge, but
Judged.
But like, if your expectation of a good whiskey is it being smooth, like this would fit the bill.
Yeah.
That's not how I operate because I could care less about that. On
want
its
flavor.
own,
You want flavor.
but I want the flavor to come along
Well, let's
with the mouthfeel.
try the more modern release and
Get
see
to
how
the
it is.
flavor.
All right,
It's like a reboot.
pass on down.
They're gonna bring a pullet this time.
Look at the new bottle. This looks great, though, doesn't it?
It does. It's kind of
45%, 90 proof. Now just called Weller, aged 12 years. Back there, you can see the literature.
Anything with yellow looks good.
This is a 700. This is a European bottle.
Oh,
This is an old
700.
one. This is yours, dude.
Oh, nice.
This is
It's
old.
yours. We just took it.
This is
Does look
old.
familiar.
This has been open for a long time,
Yeah.
so maybe it's gotten a little funky.
I actually have that bottle.
This is the one from Germany that Ben Richards.
I know.
has.
I actually have that bottle. It came over to my house and it's like, here, thanks. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Ote.
How is the nose on this one?
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Sweet.
maybe a little better.
it's better.
It's a better nose.
dude. Way better.
The grape is.
Because the grape's there,
Yeah.
and I'm getting the sweetness,
Yeah,
though, and I'm getting
I
the
am.
dark sweets.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think I'm even getting the spice.
That's nice.
It's
We're getting the
I'm
spectrum.
getting that cinnamon.
Am I getting like almost like the foolproof grape?
No.
No.
It's close.
I'm starting to get. It's a little bit more bold, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shall we go in?
Yep. Wow.
Oh.
It sanded down.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah.
All the punch I got in the
Similar,
aroma.
though.
No, this feels even more watered down to me.
I'm getting a little more sour
What the heck?
on the finish.
Maybe a touch of oak. Maybe
oak.
compared to the previous.
I'm getting the same hit of oak that I got.
But
on
it's like the flavor
that. Up front is
equivocal.
Yeah.
The mouthfeel is about the same.
Maybe less.
No,
a little
no.
bit less.
I think
little bit
it's
less,
a little
maybe.
more thin.
Yeah, it's a little more watery.
And I'm actually getting the oak now. on
Oak
the
and
finish.
sour on the finish. Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
Not a
Was not
huge
expecting
difference
that.
though, really.
Mostly in the finish and the body, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Where the
that
difference
oak.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting a little bit of that sour.
Let's talk about price and availability. Most recent ones I've gotten, I got a couple for MSRP,
I got it for 35.
$35 at Total Wine.
Yeah.
Didn't pay for this one, but I know people spend upwards of a couple $100 on this. And
Yeah.
oh my
Really?
god,
Yeah.
you're out of your mind.
I've seen this as high as 300.
The old bottle,
Yeah.
not
It's ridiculous.
that much better.
No.
Yeah,
It's a slightly different experience, sure, but geez,
I'm debating
else.
if I should do straight talk with Dillon.
Okay, moving on.
But I could just say something like, step back before you spend your money and say,
Step up.
am I paying for really elegant representation of that whiskey? Are you paying for the pinnacle of that, the pinnacle of craftsmanship from that distillery? And you're not going to get that from Weller 12. I'm sorry. And that's why I feel weird when, you're thinking, oh my gosh, should we spend $300, $400 on a bottle like this? I'm like, no, because $400, I have expectations that this has to be one of the top things coming out of a distillery. This is
The
definitely.
irony here is that I've never felt like Weller 12 is a significant improvement over the Special
Yeah.
Reserve even.
Yeah, that's true.
It's an improvement.
It's an improvement, but
Not by much,
Not
dude.
a significant one to me.
Yeah. Certainly not at the price
It's
point.
less harsh, right?
Hardly. I
Yeah.
mean, it
I'm
is.
getting that oak.
It's
And that's the
definitely
thing.
better. I'm just saying it's not worth
much, yeah.
In the current market prices,
Yeah.
considering maybe $40, $50 for this, $100, $200 for this, no way.
No way.
Agreed.
Now at MSRP, sure, pick up Weller 12. It's fine. It's easy to drink. It's tasty. What would you say to Stephen Colbert? He loves this.
I know.
Rumor is that this is why it's so hard to find, is because he buys it all.
He buys it all. I mean, I think that's in his contract. Said
It might be.
he wants Weller
So
available.
if you guys are upset about Weller not being available, please write a strongly worded letter to Stephen Colbert
Yeah.
and let him know.
Because he always, he shows it off.
He shows
too.
off with it. He's like, hey, look what I got.
Yeah.
You poor people don't have any. That's
Yeah.
what he's thinking.
Yeah. So, Stephen Colbert,
Good man.
if you...
Come on our show.
Come on our show.
Or just send us some of your Weller stash.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, we can keep
Yeah,
it
no,
12.
that's okay.
12.
Yeah.
But put in your contract a nice supply of the foolproof for Curiosity Public. And then we'll say something nice about him.
But come on our show.
All right, guys, let's move on.
Yeah,
Let's get out of the core line.
We'll talk about Lord of the Rings.
All right, pass on down to White Label, also known as CYPB. I mean, a cool looking label.
I wasn't involved.
Create your own.
Oh, wait. No, wait.
95 proof.
I was involved. Nobody listened to me.
Yeah. So a few years ago, we asked whiskey drinkers to craft your perfect bourbon online by visiting yourperfectbourbon.com and choosing their ideal bourbon recipe, proof, warehouse location, age, blah, blah, blah. And what the people chose was a wheated bourbon that was aged on the highest warehouse floors for 8 years and bottled at 95 proof. So we basically have 8-year-old 95 proof Weller.
What about
And
people?
let's talk about the market price of this.
I mean, it's just sad. It's sad because, I mean, is it any better than a age-stated Weller 107? I don't think so. Like, why
more
would
proof.
you? Like, you know, when they announced this, I initially thought there's no way Buffalo Trace actually took the suggestion of the people, right? There's just no way. There's no way a bourbon connoisseur who took the time to go
There's
to the
your problem.
website.
It wasn't limited to bourbon connoisseurs.
And it's so frustrating.
Dillon's like, why don't you
to
only
the public.
serve
It's like,
me?
Why are you doing this?
me.
Send me the email.
And I'm thinking like, this is a waste of time. This is a waste of time.
Just dub over everything he's saying. Like,
Yeah.
me.
me.
Wow. Wow.
That's more me.
All right, whatever. Let's try to
Okay, price going rate on the market $700.
1,000,
Yeah, I've seen it.
200. They just make it up.
1,000.
Yeah,
I
they make it up.
Yeah.
I swear to you, I think they just make up the number.
Yeah. I think we paid I want to say 50,
You said 50, 55, I think.
something around 50.
55, yeah.
Thank you to Total Wine for being reasonable. And if you win a bottle to buy at MSRP, you actually get it around MSRP, which is very nice. How's the nose?
It's good.
It's actually really good.
It is good.
This is it's like the old. Oh wow, yeah. It's like the old Special Reserve.
You get the grape, you get the jam.
Get that breath.
It's getting closer.
Yeah, I think it's there.
Still not the
sweet.
Nah, this
brighter.
one's still, yeah.
That's
bright
got
sweet.
that's got
It's
the
just a
musky.
hint.
got the
It's a
rich
hint
sweet.
of caramel. It's a balanced nose.
Yeah,
It is
It's
balanced.
really
It's a
nice.
balanced nose,
Very
yeah.
pleasant. I think our best nose of the currently available bottles.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
All
Let's
right.
go in. 8-year-old Weller.
I'm gonna respond first.
Respond to what? Yeah,
Meh.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's better than the 12.
I mean,
It's not as
no,
sanded down as
no,
the
it's
12.
not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
I think it is.
No,
I think so.
Wait,
Especially
stop.
front palate. Not the finish.
Oh man, we gotta call. All right.
Me.
Good call.
Okay.
Ghostbusters.
So I will say that the mouthfeel is worse. Okay.
I
The
disagree.
flavors are a little bit. Go try the 12-year again.
I thought that this one was a little bit thinner on the mouth.
No. The mouthfeel of the 12-year is better for sure. I mean, this is like not a
Do
debate.
you agree with that?
However,
I don't agree.
Equivocal.
go
think it's the
pour it
same.
again. Pour it.
Same.
Mouthfeel.
You do it.
It's the same.
You're gonna eat those words. Either that or you're gonna lie, just to
Lie.
spite me.
I don't lie.
Go. Liar. The mouthfeel is better on that one than this.
I think it's the same.
No, don't think about the flavor. Not the flavor, just the mouthfeel.
It's not better.
It is better.
Try it again.
Flavor's better.
The flavors
mouthfeel is the same.
The flavors are not better. The mouthfeel
Mouthfeel,
is
water.
the same.
Very, very, very soft.
Water.
This
nothing.
one?
This actually has a coating to it.
Caustic. 107. Oh.
I like this better than the 12.
Actually, the 107 is better.
But yeah, I would agree. I like in general 107 better, but this is fine. It's just not worth.
It's okay, but
I would probably rather sip this than the 12, honestly.
I would pay
I'm
$60
the
for
same.
this.
Yeah, I prefer this to the
would-
12.
I would
Me
pay
too.
$60. I would pick 107 over this any time of the day. There's
yeah.
no way.
Oh yeah, 107
There is no
over this,
way.
for sure.
There's no way.
This is very balanced. It's very sanded, like you said. The whole experience is very like easy to navigate.
It's an average.
Yeah.
Like I give this to like a B minus or a C in terms of flavor profile. I don't even know what this is.
I feel like if it was at 107 proof, it'd be really nice.
You mean like
Like an age stated Weller 107.
yeah.
Yeah, if only. All right, well there you have it. CYPB, the most expensive one we've accomplished or we've reached so far, just average. Let's move on. All right, pass on down the single barrel. Now, for some reason, when they announced the single barrel, they decided to go with a really ugly orange label. It's like
Orange.
pumpkin spice Weller. 48.5%, so we're at 97 proof. There is no age statement, is there? Probably the most elusive one. I feel like this is really hard to find.
Oh yeah.
Well, we found it. Or I found it.
You found it. How'd you get it?
unlike Dutch, I waited in line.
Don't wait in line.
And it was actually, you know what? I got it as a consolation prize. And I paid $55. Actually, on the receipt, I had $5 coupon, so it actually came out to $5 or $50. But yeah, I refused to pay the secondary price, which is
$1,000.
$1,000. Which I asked myself, if I'm going to spend $1,000, this has to be the pinnacle of craftsmanship.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it is not.
Now, again, we should mention
Because they just dumped the barrel. I don't
somebody
get
picked that barrel and said this is
Did
worthy.
they?
This is worthy of being released.
Yeah, no,
under
I'm sure they did.
one of our most sought after labels.
Yeah, are you saying like the curation of Pappy, they did a barrel selection just to make sure that this is the best of the best? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a Pappy reject.
It is.
Everything here is though.
It is.
All right, how's the nose?
About the same.
It's a little bit louder, and it's a proof. Proof is a little bit higher.
I don't think it's louder.
I think it's a little bit louder than the CYPB.
Go back to the 107.
I said than the CYPB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Covers the same territory.
Same stuff, yeah.
Grape, jam.
The grape is not very pronounced though. It's there, but it's not as
it's
clear
there.
as some of these earlier ones. Even I feel like.
Well, it's not.
No, I feel like
It's not a 107 or a full proof for sure.
jam for sure. But the sweetness is
it's nice.
just more on the bright side.
Pleasant
still.
Very pleasant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Palate.
Better than the fresh crack.
Yeah.
I don't know if the context helps. It's a little bit punchier than the prior two, than the CYPB or the 12. Mouthfeel's about the same, I feel like, as all three of those.
Mouthfeel's on par with the
CYPB, yeah.
somebody else pick, and then less than the 107.
About the same as the special. A little bit better, maybe.
Maybe a touch better than special.
I still feel like it's a little bit better than the 12. The nose is actually getting better. I mean,
I think the nose is okay. It's
like,
not.
this is starting to remind me of this old one.
But you know when I nose this though, like I'm not thinking, wow, this is like the pinnacle of Weller.
It's a pretty good nose.
That's this.
I don't know.
It's still weak, man.
Yeah,
It's just weak.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Weak,
I think
thin.
it covers a lot of ground though.
Okay, this one on the finish,
that-
I'm getting a sour note even.
That's what I was saying. Finish is so flawed.
Yeah.
It's
It just seems short to me.
it's short.
This is
There's
really
a little bit of
like the
little
mid
bit of that
palate's really nice.
wood.
of this.
Yeah, mid is for
Mid palate's
yeah,
really
I
nice.
agree with you there.
And everything else is kind of like the beginning is not that great and the ending's not that great, but the mid palate's very enjoyable.
I mean,
But
depending
I'd
on
say the ending's even worse.
Yeah, I think the CYPB was a little bit better.
Yeah.
yeah, because you get that weird off-putting
that-
wood
that-
component.
Well, the sour
But
just
you almost
really,
kind of get a woodiness in the beginning too. Like for me, the
Yeah.
sour hits me at the beginning.
Yeah.
The finish is like almost non-existent. I don't know if that's just like we've tried too many or what.
Oh, no, I also get the sour at the finish and just it's
I
not
get
pleasant.
nothing out of it.
Like I'm really. This is one of those things. If I drank this, and I would say, man, it's found wanting, right? It's not giving me proof. It's not giving
it's
me
like,
the like.
if I
the-
want this, like, why wouldn't I just spend the money on the green label and drink this? Because it's basically
And that's
a
easier
little
to
bit
find.
better. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm not wasting my money. I'm getting
Yeah.
75%
hunting.
of the experience for a fraction of the price.
or go Superior and go 107.
I agree.
Like no, here's another kind of thought experiment. If you're thinking about spending $1,000 on this, wouldn't you just go and get 107?
Get a case.
Pay secondary prices for 107 and get a case.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would. If I had $1,000 to burn,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather do that.
Get 6 bottles of Weller 107.
Yeah.
At secondary prices, right?
Yeah.
Roughly, yeah.
So
Pass.
I don't know. I felt like when
I just don't understand why these are so hard to get. Are they just not releasing any of them?
Models.
Because who's buying those up and paying secondary prices on them?
there's
I don't
definitely
get it.
limited, and I know who pays for it. It's the people who have expense accounts.
But why would they pick that?
Yeah.
Like who's
Because the clients who may not be watching Curiosity Public
Yeah, but wouldn't-
watch some other,
why wouldn't they just buy the
competition
12 year?
or
Doesn't
something.
doesn't the 12 year look more impressive than those?
No, because you don't see it as much. You don't see these colors as much.
I guess. I don't know, man.
And so the mind
doesn't
wants
make any
to
sense
like.
to me.
It doesn't make sense to us, but the people with the expense accounts
They don't
that says
care.
I got to spend $1,000 on the client because the client is asking for this color
Rare
bottle.
bourbons.
Yeah, they'll do it. And I was thinking like, what client is asking for that?
I agree. Well,
Like if I were the client, you know what I'd be asking for. What
if you
would I
were
get?
smart, if you have an expense account and you're smart, you'd save those empty bottles and you just buy a bunch of this, pocket the the difference and then just refill
Refill
that.
it.
Your client's never gonna know the difference.
No, I would say, forget all this. Get me
Wow.
her 16. Get me Stitzel Weller originals. Get me the Weller 17. Give me that rare
Old school
bottle
stuff,
of Weller
yeah.
17 year. Give me those things. Like, I'm not gonna be asking for this. This is to me, it's this equivalent of like, can you give me like.
It's uninspired tasting to me. That's kind of what I come back to. I just tasted it again. I'm just like, it's fine.
It's just weak
It'd be easy to drink.
all around.
Background bourbon. You're sitting there having a cigar, watching a movie. Like, you sip on this, it's fine.
The way I look at this is like, get me a McRib right now. Right?
All right, guys. Let's
It's
move
like
on.
$5, but you have to travel like to another state to
Or
go
you
get
gotta
it.
wait because
Right,
it's
so
not
it's
in
rare.
season.
It's rare.
Or you
right?
can go to like Japan to get you
Right.
something off the Japanese McDonald's menu.
Oh, that's way better.
Yeah, like the fish burger.
Okay, moving on.
burger.
Let's get to the foolproof. All right, foolproof time. Dylan, you want to do the honors? That is... now, this is a hard one for me to find, which is a non-barrel pick version of the foolproof, right?
Yeah, I guess I take it for granted, huh?
I mean, I've pretty much never seen that. You want to pour?
Sure.
Wow, this is awesome. I get to be served.
It's kind of interesting because Dutch asked me and said, "Hey, do you have a non-pick foolproof?" And I go, "Of course." And he said, "Oh yeah, that's a little bit difficult to find." I said,
I've literally never seen
"Man,
it.
you know what? Make sure you don't cut this video. Make it seem like I'm like pretentious or
That's going to be hard not to.
No. Come on, people know."
He buys cases.
He's like, yeah, I had one open, but I found another one.
I was joking about the Stitzel Weller spending $10,000.
Sure. I've got so much Weller foolproof. He said, do you have a blended one? I'm like, of course I have a blended one. What are you, dumb? What are you, poor? That's literally what he said to me.
No, you know what? I'm not even gonna qualify that.
You did already.
Truth hurts.
You did already.
All right, how's the nose?
Hurtful.
Oh,
Very good.
it's not even close. It's not even close.
Like, why would you buy these two?
Why would you buy any of these? Honestly, this nose is so much
They
better.
should just get rid of it all, right?
It's
Like, this is a waste of time. This is a waste of time.
all right, just for
In
comparison's
fact,
sake.
stop doing single barrels. Just blend it.
Foolproof is better. It's bigger. It's bolder.
Wow.
What do you think about the nose comparison?
Between this and
The old. What was that the old 107 or the old special?
Special.
Yeah. Special.
Actually, the old one's better.
I think so too. It's just
Uh,
a bit like on the richer
They got
side.
the
It has
they
more
got
baking
the
spice.
they got the
Rich.
brown sugar caramel
Just right.
part just
Yeah,
right.
just right.
Yeah, this one's missing. This
is more
It's a
fruit,
little bit more hollow.
See, I would say
but
I would say
miles
this,
above the others.
I would say this is missing the fruit. This has better fruit to me. The foolproof.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The right before stew, just like ripe fruits.
Very delicious.
This is
Good.
represented.
Should we go in?
Yep, good representation.
Best
I would
mouthfeel.
say.
The proof is perfect.
How do I criticize this?
Good mouthfeel.
Let's see.
Finish is decent. None of the
Mid
sour
palate,
note.
mid palate. There's a little bit of unbalanced component. That's a little bit harsh.
Yeah.
Finish isn't lingering as much as I would like.
I think.
And then there's a
I
little
think
bit
it's
of
just
oak.
right.
I think the
Mid.
finish is great. I mean,
And it ends on sweetness on the
But
finish.
what's
for me.
really great about it is that all the punchy flavors are so pleasant
Yeah.
and rich. It's a delicious,
Balanced.
delicious
it's effervescent. It just
Oh, yeah.
it hits
It's-
everything on the palate. It coats the
great.
palate so nicely.
But now,
The fruits are there.
I don't think I've ever done back to back with a barrel pick
Yeah.
and a blend.
Let's do it right now. Let's try the barrel pick. All right, let's take a look at what that looks like. Show the little symbol there for people to see. So, barrel pick, similar to the 107 style, but with that nice blue motif. All right. So this is a single barrel. Again, the other one, the one we just tasted, this one is a blend of foolproof. 114 proof, right? Right?
Is it 114?
Still 114.
So 114. All right, do we notice any difference in this barrel pick?
Let me let it open up a little bit because it's really subdued right now.
Oh no, man! You're getting the brown sugars on this one.
Not getting anything right now.
I wasn't getting anything either.
Really?
Okay, now the grape's coming in.
Grape and
It's
brown
good.
sugars,
It's very
man.
pleasant.
Yeah, there's sugars.
Let me see. Is it
Similar nose.
No, I think it's on the darker side. It's
right.
darker
Yeah,
richness.
It is.
Excuse a little bit.
It's a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's louder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
grape
more
is
ethanol.
louder.
This has a little more sugar to me, the old one. The blend.
Oh.
Before I do the palate, I mean, I get nervous because barrel picks tend to be good nose, average to terrible palate.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've had pretty good luck with foolproof picks. I've enjoyed most of the ones I've had. And again, I've only had the picks up until trying this blend for the first time today. Let's try it. A little oakier.
It's oakier.
It just kind of punches through at different points.
The ethanol was a little bit
Sour?
yeah.
Yes.
It's a little bit more punchy. The balance, I would say, is not as good. It's kind of off.
Yeah, balance is
Mid
definitely
to-
off. I'm with you on your original description of it. It just
Yeah, it just punches through at different points.
yeah.
Not all of them are
Because
better.
on the second one too, like
It's spicier.
I got the oak and spice up front
Yeah,
versus
a lot
my
of
first
spice.
one. It was a bit later.
What do you think of the finish?
It's fine.
Sour.
I'm getting oak.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of the oak.
Yeah.
But not tannic.
I didn't get
No.
that in the.
And drying.
Yeah, different
The
components come
non-pick.
through at different places, I feel like, on this one. It's fine. I'd probably give a slight edge to the blend.
Big question. The
Price.
pick. Well, the pick's going to be what? Oh yeah. Well, secondary prices sometimes.
Yeah.
Look,
You can find picks for around 180.
you paid $180 for this.
No, I'm saying you can find them.
Find them.
Regular.
Yeah, I'm not
If you were
paying
to-
$180 for that.
I didn't say that. I'm saying if you wanted to find one right now, you could find one for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the most you would pay for
For a pick now,
Yeah.
100, maybe 120. You know, I've got a few, so I wouldn't pay much more than that.
Yeah, I'd say 100.
I think it's a fine $100 bottle.
Yeah, I would say this over these two
Absolutely.
yeah.
I mean,
For sure.
any day.
over everything else, quite frankly. If you can't afford a $100 bottle, then find one of these.
Yeah.
Now the question for myself is, would I replace the 107 with this as my daily?
I would. Because I like the option of putting a little bit of ice in this one too on a hot day. Then you're not proofing it down so far that it's like this. It's still got some kick to it. Now it's nice and chilled.
Yeah.
You know, rounds out some of the punchy pieces of it. I mean, this with a little bit of ice it's my jam. I can sip it all day. Like, I love it, especially during the summer.
So then why don't you just buy a special reserve, put it in the refrigerator, and you'll get the same thing?
Something about the sound of ice in a glass that's just really soothing.
So you drink because
Especially in
you
a
want to
clear
hear
ice.
I drink for the experience. That's part of the experience.
it? To hear the ice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sensory.
Right on the glass. ASMR, man.
Okay.
Asthma.
All right. Shall we conclude this with the BTAC? What do you guys say?
Here we go.
I think this is amazing. But yeah, I'm ready.
Look at him
You ready?
caress that bottle.
Yeah. All right. What the heck?
It's so bright in here all of a sudden.
Elton John has arrived.
You know how I am, right?
Dylan?
Who are you?
This is Diamond Dillon. All right, you tards.
All right, Dylan, you want to show everybody the next bottle?
Oh, go yourself. Here, you do it, peasant.
All right, guys. So
Okay.
I believe Diamond Dylan has shown up for this bottle, which is Buffalo Trace Antique Collections.
I only come when the good bottles come out. None of this the bottles.
William LaRue Weller, 62.85%, 125.7 proof. I believe this is the 2020 release, maybe 2019. I'll try to look it up. The back has a lot of literature about the bottle and, you know, William LaRue Weller and the history and all that stuff.
Do you guys read?
Yes, we can read, Dylan. You guys want to try this one? Uncut, unfiltered. I mean, age is usually in the double digits.
All right, let's go.
I'll try to pop up the info on this particular bottle. I don't really remember what the age was or anything like that. Where's your coaster? You don't use coasters, Diamond Dylan?
It's right here. You.
I mean,
You
these,
have a diamond coaster.
these
though.
bleeps are legitimate bleeps this time,
Yeah.
too. Like,
No. Well, I don't know what happened to the other guy. The guy with the guys. But you know, I just want to say, Ditch and Jewel, you guys
I think it was
are,
Joel.
you know, you guys are privileged to have me here to give my perspective on this incredible release.
Well, I would say you guys are privileged that I'm sharing my private stash with you guys because this is from my private collection.
Is it though?
I feel like I'm gonna get sunburned.
I feel like Jewel, your parents named you
What's going
after
on
the
with
singer.
that curl right there, Diamond?
Is it singer?
This is Clark Kent curl.
It's my power curl. God.
Wow, the color on this is really
Wow.
beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah, how's the nose?
You know what I get from this? I get citrus. I get a component of citrus.
Oh my god.
well, now it's not just grape; it's like a floral.
It is.
grape,
It is
and it's
like a bouquet.
It's the floral.
It's the floral, right?
This has floral.
You finally get the floral, right?
But you get the sugars, you get the spices.
Oh, I think I'm getting that hint of citrus.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing nose.
I have a question though. Did they name you Jewel because they thought you were going to be a girl? No?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To hide me from the spirits.
Hide you from Elton John.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Because
A girl's name?
your peoples love that superstition shit, right? Yeah. What about Ditch over there? I can't get a feel for where he's from. I feel like he's from some place
He's
where
the everyman.
yeah, like all genetic, you know,
Mutations?
yeah,
Where
mutations
is it
like
going,
culminated.
Like the seat of an ancient empire.
So what's the difference?
Oh my god.
What's the difference?
Everything.
Everything.
Elegance, like the body is really where it stands out for me. It's so velvety.
Velvety.
And then the
Mouthfeel.
finish.
finish.
Mouthfeel.
Oak, which is balanced.
But
with
it's
the sweet
balanced oak.
and the spice.
Yeah.
I have to say, I did try, I believe it was the 2023 release. It was at a bar randomly. I saw it on the shelf. It was like a cocktail place. I'm like, what's like, how much is the William Blue Weller? The guy's like, oh, we just got it in. It's like $20. I'm like,
Spore.
Yeah.
and it very similar, but a little over oaked.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because you got f***ed in the ass. They basically got an empty bottle and they filled it with something else. That's why they could sell it for $20. That's why you got hoodwinked.
No, it
because
was-
they said they looked
they
at
just
him and
didn't know
go,
what they
no,
got.
they looked at him and said, "There's no way this is gonna be able to notice the difference between like benchmark, right, and a fine dram." That's why I'm here so that I can provide the definitive analysis of this.
Sorry, Dillon.
No, I'm sorry. That
Diamond.
is not my name, bitch.
Triple D, Dillon.
That rhymes with bitch. That is not my name.
Oh, the censors are going to be busy with this one.
Fuck the censors.
This is really good.
Yes.
It's very good. It's
delicious.
Why do I buy this? Why would I buy this? Right? Why do I have this on the shelf?
Oh my gosh. Because it's the best thing in this lineup.
Is it better than Pappy Van Winkle?
Better than the 10, better than the 12. Yeah, I mean, the proof
Yeah.
point, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's
I
higher
would agree.
proof than any
I would
of them.
agree, but it's a different beast.
It is, but
What I like about this release, you know, the thing is,
can't even
you might think like, wait a minute. So why wouldn't you call it high proof Pappy, right? And the reason I say that is because the flavor profile is very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
This
less
one,
baking spice.
yeah,
Yeah.
because the barrel selection that goes into Pappy's, they tend to skew more toward, well, what was in the past the honey,
Yeah.
right? The honey sweetness, the sugars, the brown sugars, and
And the
such.
baking spices.
Here, you get a representation of the oak, right? That you typically wouldn't get unless you get a bad batch of the 20 or the 23 year,
This is so good.
or the 25, right?
And this is so dangerous because it's whatever 125 proof and it
don't
drinks
drink the
like
proof at all.
it drinks like 90 proof.
Let's talk about the finish. Let's talk about the finish.
It's amazing.
Elegant.
I'm getting that
Is the best
warm,
way.
the Kentucky hug thing going on. Like I love everything about this.
I will say, if you gave this to me blind, right?
Oh my god, it's so good.
I am
would,
blind right now.
I would not think that this is high proof. Like I drink this and
what
I'd
you
be like,
just said.
it
It'd be like
is
100 proof maybe.
yeah.
like 60, you know. They're like, oh my gosh, did somebody?
Just water? Yeah. He's overcompensating.
It is so.
Well, who else stresses it?
Shall I get you a box?
It's so good, Jewel.
It is. Diamond Dutch.
Or is it?
Dillon.
Wait, is it Jewel or like
Joel.
Ju-
Jewel.
What?
Joel.
Joel.
Like Billy Joel?
Like
Yeah,
Howard
your
Joel.
colleague, Dalton.
Yeah.
The other piano man.
Did your parents really love
The
music
other
or
piano
something?
man.
Well, they do karaoke every night.
Exactly.
Oh, that is true. So they did love Joel.
Just past the lumpia.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the bourbon, guys. Okay, to me, let's do a little. Why don't we do a recap?
All right, so it's time for William Larue Weller.
No, recap time, Dylan.
What? No, we didn't.
Dylan.
Yeah, you got a bottle, you got a glass right there. With
Oh, here. Okay.
You already
I
have
haven't
some.
tried it.
You already have some.
Let's try it.
Excuse to pour more for himself.
Yum. Yum.
Well, anyway, we're doing the recap now, Dylan. I think we.
So the nose is
Okay, no,
really
we're on the
elegant.
recap. I think we all unequivocally would say the William Larue Weller blows everything else out of the water, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not fair.
It's
not
not
fair.
even
It's not fair.
to me. It's not even close. It's
they're
like
not-
try the foolproof again.
Oh, yeah. Let's go back to that.
It's a shade of it. It's not even the shadow of the William Larue Weller. There's none
It's
of that
really
depth,
subdued. It's really weird.
isn't
right?
it?
It's weird going back to it.
It's fruity. Like the fruit punches through still, but like there's nothing else.
And the sweetness, but then it's like,
Where's the bottom? Where's the low end?
where's the elevation?
You know,
This has all the base.
Yeah.
You know.
I used to have this acquaintance. His name was Diamond Dillon, and what he would say is, it's like comparing.
Cuss.
It's like comparing.
Oh my
Right?
god.
You know, it's like here are the trying to, and it would take like a day, whereas the William Larue Weller
we have to
it's
literally
like-
bleep everything.
would be like
we have to bleep
running
all
it
this too.
less than like 9 seconds. So that's a really apt. That's not me. I'm just quoting somebody.
That's what they all say. It's so incredibly better. So much different. It's like a different. It doesn't even really
it's
belong.
on another
It
plane.
doesn't really even belong in this drink.
Yeah. No.
But I think it shows everybody like how frustrating it is because we know what Buffalo Trace is capable of, and if only they could produce enough of that for all the connoisseurs and the a-hole hoarders didn't buy it all up. I mean, it would be amazing. Let's look at the core lineup. Let's look at the core lineup of the green, the red, and the black. The ones that are generally considered the core, and more available. Actually, I'd even say the blue.
The blue.
But a pick,
The pick.
of the blue.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 most available. Where are you going? What are you picking up? Definitely the foolproof.
Well, of course.
The foolproof in the 107.
Yeah.
I mean, in the past, I would have said 107, but the foolproof,
I'm more and more falling into the foolproof camp. And even when I have them, I mean, the flavor profile is different. I'm tending to prefer the grape that comes through on the foolproof, whereas like the 107, it's just felt a little lacking to me recently. I don't know why.
Do you know why I like foolproof? It's because when they did the survey for this,
Yeah.
essentially I was asking for this at 8 years.
Yeah.
I said, because you have to think about price, and I didn't want to pay for another William Larue Weller secondary, right? So the thought was, you know what, do it at this proof because we already had 107 at the time. I said, let's bump this up and let's make sure that it's age stated at 8 years. That's what I requested. Obviously, they didn't hear that and they didn't listen to that. But this right here gets close.
Yeah.
That gets close as an upgrade to the 107.
What I would like to see is scrap out all of this, have a slightly older special reserve for people that want a lower proof, smoother dram.
8 to 9 year.
8 to 9 year, and then have a slightly older age-stated foolproof. It doesn't have to be age-stated, but just a slightly older one.
Yeah.
Because then you can proof that down in here. The 12 year is not adding anything. Like, why are we wasting barrels on this? Do these two, do more of the William Larue Weller, and then everybody's happy. Like, we don't need all this other stuff.
Yeah, because you can have the 12 go here.
Exactly.
And then have this one and that at 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want the cheaper one, a little bit more crowd pleaser, background bourbon, here you go. If you want the more intense connoisseur version, there you go. And then you know what? If you want the really high-end one, there's going to be more of that available maybe.
I feel like if they let us, we can find world peace.
I think we just solved all the world's problems right here in this drink through, guys.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think so. Yeah.
Once we got rid of that D-bag, diamond D-bag.
I don't like to
It was quite blinding.
say
I think there's some
bad things
glitter on
about
Dylan's
people.
face.
What? That is so racist.
How's that
How's
racist?
that racist?
It's saying I look like everybody else.
I didn't say that. I said you had glitter
You
on
implied.
your face.
You implied.
Didn't even imply that. I literally said your costume change left a little glitter on your face.
What costume change?
Exactly.
Calling you out, Dillon.
All right, guys. Well, I don't think we're actually going to solve the world's problems today, but we're going to drink to get through it. And we've just done that. So, Jules, take everybody out. I don't know what I'm
Tell us
saying.
what you guys think in the comments below. Just thumbs up, thumbs down. Either way, let us know. Subscribe for more videos. Curiosity Public. If you want to help us out, please consider Curiosity Private joining Curiosity Private membership program here on YouTube and Patreon. And other great ways to buy T-shirts. Links will be in the description.
No, that's not available.
Yeah, that's not available. But links in the description anyway. And we have a podcast on all the major platforms. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay curious. I mean, all I want is...
Man, that was so blinding.
I have the 2016 release, too.
Nice.
It's so good. I wish I could still get it. I mean, we should have talked about the availability of that. Like all BTAC, like it's impossible.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
And yet, over the past, let's say, since 2016, I've gotten 2 of the releases, and I feel like I should have hoarded it back in 2016 when I had the chance. You know,
I think I told you to hoard it, and you didn't listen.
well, you didn't hoard it either.
Or did I?
You're holding out. I mean, I'm sure you're holding out on this. Because like, whenever we ask him, "Do you have this?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll find it." You know, it's like
And
It's like
miracle,
this.
it shows
It's like
up.
the Weller.
it's like the Weller.
It's like the Weller, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, do we have a non-barrel pick? It's like, I'll find one. And then you're like, you show up and you're like, I had like 3.
No, yeah, the Dutch really. He sent me a text. He was like, "Yeah, it's the thing. The one thing that we don't have is non-barrel pick
Yeah.
foolproof." Yeah.
We should have included
No
a,
problem. Got
a
it.
barrel pick of the Special Reserve, which I feel like is harder to find now. Like they used to be everywhere.
True.
That would have been
I
cool.
could pick it.
You see, and we should have had a newer bottle.
You didn't ask.
And then I have a newer pick as well.
Jeez.
That's the thing is like we've had some picks that are really, really good at this.
Yeah.
You remember the one that we can't talk about?
Yeah.
That one was really good, like buttery. Remember?
Right.
Anyway, you know, we should solicit more comments from our viewers too on this.
But you got some, right? Or did you finish through that?
I have one more.
Okay.
And it's a 1 liter. So we'll
set
save
it aside.
Save
Don't use it for this thing. Just keep it as a sentimental.
It is. It's something.
It is.
Yeah.
I'll have to find the right time to open it, but it won't be with you guys.
That's what you think.
Just kidding. I share everything. And I mean, everything.